I wanted to ask you, what do you think about how over the past few years there's been a change to how Puerto Ricans are viewed in hip hop as far as their contributions and everything? Because you said that you grew up in the time of hip hop really starting out, and so you got to really see it.
Planet Rock, Don't Stop, all that shit. The Planet Rock song and break dancing. It wasn't rap though. It was house parties, house music. That was hip hop. The DJs with the crates, the graffiti on the walls. That was hip hop. What's the question though?
Was how do you feel about how over the past few years been a change to how Puerto Ricans are viewed as far as their contributions to hip hop in the early stages?
Um, I like who is it? KRS-One, Busta Rhymes. They will all acknowledge that when they first started spitting rhymes and creating rhymes, there was always a Puerto Rican influence. I can attest to you that when hip hop started in Chicago, pop was in Chicago, and the West Side, and
When you say
there
started,
was.
you mean that when it came over from New York, right?
Yes, we were, and we also had early '90s right after the whole breakdancing era, which was the late '80s. The '90s came, okay, and we got great groups. Crucial Conflict got to go all over New York and make Chicago presence, and um, in the '90s, man, as far as I can recall, before I went to prison, late '80s maybe. We had great artists coming out of Chicago, man. We had pioneers. You had the Brat, you had Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, Psychodrama. You had females like Nuisance. So we just had our different style. I can't remember. Well, there was a Puerto Rican rapper back then. I think Payroll was rap. We had a few Puerto Rican rappers,
Well, because
but
you remember, like, in Joe caught some flack when he said that it was 50-50 as far as black contributions and Puerto Rican contributions, and people got mad about that. But it seems like more and more over the years, the amount of the percentage has gone down and more as far as what people are saying how much Puerto Ricans contributed in the early stage.
look, look, it doesn't matter. Puerto Ricans were there. We evolved with it. If it wasn't the fashion, if it was the breakdancing or the music or the DJing, we were there. We were a part of of it one way or another. And even though hip hop was born in New York, Chicago, New York, were always sharing the culture. Some of the first beats and producers that New York had were from Chicago. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't really look at it like that, man. I know we were there. I know we played a heavy, a strong part of the music culture in hip hop at that time. We were always involved, whether it was musically or some type of way.
Because did you see Wack 100 has said that no Puerto Ricans helped create hip hop?
Now that is a total incorrect statement by Wack 100. You know what I'm saying? Watching Wack from the outside, Wack just be wanting to say some shit. Wack is Wack always has something to say about something. That's just Wack 100.
Right, right.